Going, good day, New York.
How was it?
It was good. She was like, she's like the morning host who's awesome.
Yeah.
There's a big difference, I think. Like, she's like the fun mom who's a little bit punchy and won't, take.
Okay.
And she's probably been doing this in New York 100 years. And I mean, that'd probably be insulting. She would, like,
How
if I
old?
said that to her, she would go, 100 years, you think I'm that old? Like, it would be like that type of person.
Okay, so it was fun.
It was fun. I
Okay.
said cocaine on the morning news.
Wow.
So I don't know how many people have done
now
that.
Now you can retire. Hello and welcome back to the U Up podcast. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. It is so good to be back here with you, Jordana. How are you? What's going on? How's everything first? I had a question for you.
How's everything? Everything is good. I'm trying to remember how everything
is everything well? It's summer in the city. You can feel it.
Summer in the city, I don't think it's going to be well. This week is going to be like 100 degrees here.
People are really I don't think, this is now, I've moved out of New York long enough. I don't think people here will ever be happy. Like, I have that
it's too
perspective.
Cold,
too
it's
cold.
Too hot.
Right. When's it ever good enough? Like,
No,
I actually was walking around just now. I kind of ran in here because I was running late. Thank you, everybody. Sorry to keep everyone. But I was like, it's not that bad out. Like, I'm sure it's going to get hot.
Now it's fine, yeah.
I think when you're locked in New York, I think this is my biggest issue with New York. Is you have to be... I would say New York is great if you're in your 20s and you're okay with being uncomfortable. It is awesome if you're rich enough to not have to deal with discomfort.
Right.
Anywhere in between, this city could drive you mad. And I think this is not a middle-class city.
I mean, not to talk shit about the city, but we're already doing it.
Yeah, fine.
I was in the Lower East Side the other day. That place is disgusting.
I don't think you're allowed to say it. There's certain things. I think if you move to the suburbs,
I'm not allowed to say
you're not allowed to say any part of New York is disgusting. I try to stay away from it.
Okay.
Leaving here is the one thing I can't say. There's
no air conditioning anywhere. It's like Europe if Europe was like really dirty.
Right. Dirty Europe. That's what they call it in Soho.
And had no culture. Yeah. No, I mean...
No,
Soho's fine. The Lower East
you can
Side.
Send your letters
No, everyone is so mean, and it was so hot, and it was just like there was.
What were you doing on the Lower East Side?
I went to a client event at Ludlow House.
Oh my God. That's also a judgy thing of me. Like when you become a mother, move to the suburbs, what were you doing
I was like,
on the Lower East Side?
I was like, I guess I haven't been to the Lower East Side in years, and it's probably the same. I think I'm just much more pretentious.
Yeah.
But I was just walking around, and I was like, I was trying to get a manicure before this event, and so I was, and I also needed to go and whatever. I needed to go to this pharmacy.
This is a story that gets told at a Lululemon.
Yes.
In
no, this
Long
is like
Island.
the worst thing anyone's ever heard. But I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I was walking around there and I was like, "Is this what the suburbs does to you? Am I just like pretentious and completely out of it?" But I was like, "This area of the city sucks.
Yeah.
Hate it. Like extreme. Like just like very dirty. Everyone was very mean. Every store I went into was like very like attitude. Like I went in to get a manicure a few places and it was like, I was like, "Do you have any time?" They're like, "No, out." I was like, "Okay, bye." And then
couldn't hack it.
And also just so hot. Like is there no air conditioning in the Lower East Side, like on principle?
This was the thing about New York City in the summer versus, people of Florida is so hot in the summer. But Florida's like prepared for it.
Yeah.
Like you walk into a place, it is like they'll blow, you're Marilyn Monroe. They'll blow a fucking poof up your skirt.
It's freezing everywhere inside.
It's freezing everywhere inside. So it's like there's a preparation that's being done there versus here. I would say Lower East Side probably is one of the younger. I mean, that's where also like Dime Square, which has become a thing.
I thought it was like up and coming though. The last time I was there, I feel like there was all this talk about about it being like, built up.
Well, it's cool. I would say also like we are not cool.
Okay.
Like
sorry, I
I'll
forgot.
include myself.
I forgot. Okay.
Yeah, I because Lower East Side, I lived on Ludlow and Houston. So and this is now 6 years ago, and I'll never forget it. We were gifted these Nike sneakers. And I remember they were like the ugliest Nike sneakers to the point I never wore them. They were like, and I was like, who would wear these? They had like fur on them.
Thank you very much, Nike.
Thank you, Nike. But they were like huge fans of the show, and they gave us these Nike sneakers. And I was like, I don't know if I'll ever. And I remember I was moving out. I had broken up with my then girlfriend. I'm moving out of this apartment that we shared on Ludlow and Houston. And I went to get my final coffee at Ludlow Coffee Supply, which I am a huge fan of Ludlow Coffee Supply. But I remember being like, I was in that neighborhood for 1 year. I had moved down from Harlem. I was going to the West Village, and I remember I was sitting on a bench outside of Ludlow Coffee Supply, and every person that came by, 3 different people, those shoes are awesome. Those shoes, oh my God, those shoes, because I was wearing the Nike.
Shoes are cool.
And I'm like, oh, I was too old for this neighborhood. Like, if I
now it all makes sense.
Now it all came together for me. And that New York does kind of go that way a little bit sometimes, where you can age out of a neighborhood or feel not comfortable in a neighborhood. Like,
they're not, it doesn't, I mean, you kind of felt that way a little bit with the West Village, right? West Village girls.
The West Village girlies took over. And but when I first got to the West Village 5 years ago, I was like, and now I have that feeling with Tribeca.
Right.
I mean, these are also like very privileged areas of New York too. Like these are like, if someone's
Lower
been
East
living,
Side is not that privileged.
Well, Lower East Side if in spaces, like there's someone living there in a privileged way, and there's someone also living there. They've been there 100,000 years. Right. So it's again, you can't speak for all things, but I think that area is also very young. So like the feeling of like I'm the king, I'm the star of this movie. I'm sure you were dealing with that too.
Yeah.
Like, get out of the way.
Right. I also just think this being like something about living in the suburbs now, I've been there like 3 years, does make you more of an asshole.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, you're not rubbing shoulder to shoulder. There's no
I'm like
allowance, right? Like this whole thing, the idea of touching someone else that you don't know.
Right.
In the suburbs, that never happens.
Right. Or like a bathroom, like using the bathroom at like a nail salon, and they're just being like, it being like absolutely disgusting and like extremely hot. I'm just like, they don't do this there.
Right.
Like they have like, there's more space. There's like, it's bigger, and there's like, no one would stand for this.
And being used less.
Yes.
It's and again, the divisions between suburb and city become larger because a lot of there's no need to go into a city for a lot of people in the suburbs. So it almost creates this, and I see it online, just like if I do a post, like I was just in Cleveland. If you came to my shows in Cleveland, I had a wonderful time. It was awesome. Shout out to the people in Cleveland, the fans of this show, the people that have been listening for years. It is so amazing. I've been to 4 of your shows. Someone came in line, they showed me a picture of us in 2018 taking pictures in the same spot. Like, it is just, if you're listening right now, thank you. Wherever you are, not just Cleveland. It is such a pleasure to do this show that we love to do. And then like to meet people, and they're like, they share our sensibility. Like, they have fun with the show. Sometimes we complain about commenters. It is such a small percentage of what actually makes up the viewership, the listenership of the show, and it means the world. And shout out Larder, this deli in Cleveland that was unbelievable. Cordelia, great restaurant, had a great waiter at Cordelia, who said that Jeremy Piven didn't tip.
At all?
I'll give you some tea. Jeremy Piven
didn't tip at all.
No tip.
0 tip. Maybe he thought the tip was included.
He got a free meal. They invited him in.
Oh, okay.
If you get a free meal,
you
have
to tip more. I get a free meal, but I could see maybe how like did he not tip like 30 years ago when he was like 20?
I know this was. They said it was in COVID.
Because I can see it like 20 years old, like, oh, the thing is free, and so it's free. But like at Jeremy Piven's got to be like 50.
Emily's like, who? I was like, Ari Gold from Entourage. I'm like,
how old is she?
I think she's 15. No. What? No, I'm kidding. That was a joke.
Yeah,
you
no,
would
I
have
know.
done. Fuck you. No. So no, Emily's 32.
That's enough time to be like, I'm not really sure about Entourage. Probably wasn't. I mean, I'm 30. I'm 36, and it was pretty big. But like, I could see it. Her being like just missed it.
I think a lot of our cultural recognition is going to be more and more divided because we live in these silos now. So like, you and I, like honestly, you and I connect on a lot of like Entourage and shows and movies. The things we don't connect on are is smaller than I think even as time moves on,
right,
you to whatever 4 years younger than you,
right, might be less than
you're
than
gonna
the other
like
way,
have
yeah.
like. But she's all
32
to 41.
Well, to bring it back to dating, yeah. Do you feel in that 32 to 41 thing? Do you feel like there's a lot of stuff or any stuff where you're like, this feels a generational divide, if you will?
Haven't felt it. That was the first.
Okay.
I mean, I'm only bringing it up because it was like a whoa, I'm 100, like, but it hasn't really come up as much. And it's probably again sensibility. If you like, her and I share.
Right, you're in the same.
I like her as a person.
Right.
Well,
but I would have to imagine if you were dating someone who was like 25, there would be like. You would have very little of those references in common.
I was talking to a friend last night, and he was saying that he's older than me dating a 21-year-old.
That's a little gross.
And I go, dude, like I was like, what?
I mean, it's like legal, but it's like
right.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, very smart. And this is the move, very smart. He goes, very smart. No, like we. And I go, what do you talk about? Like
right.
People think that men don't have like judgment. We do.
Right.
We just don't take the judgment as hard. Like I think for this specific
you don't take
thing,
it personally.
right? I think if a woman like, what do you even talk about to your boyfriend? You'd be like, well, we talk about a lot of things. We'll go fuck. Like it's not. So there is judgment. I just don't think men listen to the judgment because I go to him. I go, what do you even talk about? And he goes,
was it Nick Vial?
Yeah, my buddy Nick. My buddy Nick. We were doing a show, and I'm talking to him, and he goes, he's very smart. She's like getting her MBA and like, or whatever. She's got higher education, and I go, he goes, like we talk about like politics and world stuff and physics. I go, what physics? Right. I go, that's how I know you guys didn't like each other.
Too many things. If you just stopped at politics.
Even
fine.
So, if I mention a beaker on a date with you, we have nothing in common.
Right.
Like no one's talking about.
You're trying to make this work. Trying to make this work.
Right. You're looking for shit.
Yeah.
It was just such a bullshit, and it's funny 21. How people rationalize because you can talk about physics. That means she's not 21 anymore. Yeah. It's weird.
It's weird. I mean, what's the guy, Bill Belichick? Is it Bill Belichick?
Bill Belichick. Yeah.
With the 21-year-old girlfriend? Well, now she's probably 22 or 23.
I just think any partner where you're above 25 and they're 25 and below.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I think the life skills, and this is like a changing of the time. Like, in another era, being 18 made you an adult. Like, yes. I can believe that. Like, when you're going off to war, goodbye, mom and dad. And
yeah, I mean, the further back you go, the less weird it is.
The less weird, right.
Yeah.
I think nowadays in a world, and there's one fucking asshole who'll be like, 22, I paid all my bills. And I get it. Right. You're special. You're amazing. You're a hero amongst us. None of us get it. But most people 22 are opening a bill for the first time.
Yeah.
And
just don't have the life experience.
Right. And going, what's a 401k? And oh my God, and feeling their life turn upside down. So listen, if two people are dating and they're both 21 and they get out of college, that can happen. You're growing together.
Right.
But I don't know, it's that.
There's something weird about it.
And I hate the frontal lobe shit. I hate how everyone heard that one fact and all of a sudden every woman's like, he doesn't even have his frontal cortex. It's like, you hack. I've heard the joke. I don't find it funny.
Yeah. I mean, I do agree there's some people, obviously there are 25-year-olds or 22-year-olds that are much more mature than some other. There's a much wider range in maturity of 22-year-olds than there are probably of people who are 27.
Yes.
I would say.
The spectrum is wide, and I would just expect it also, I would bet on not that mature.
Right.
At 22. That would be my bet. You could outperform my bet. You can prove me wrong, but
yeah.
I don't know, with that dating stuff, with the age debate. Yeah, the Bill Belichick thing. I mean, even when they met, I think she was like, it's a very gray area of when they met.
But it's funny because like with that, you think the power dynamic is like off, like he's going to be like much more powerful. No. But like actually, I think that like she's somehow more powerful,
she's like
which is
running
weird.
Shit seemingly from the outside.
Yeah.
And it seems, I when this story was a story like maybe like 6 months ago or when it came up big time, and it probably will come up again, he was like, I think he was buying her real estate in her name.
Yeah.
To like, it was actually like a professional old man dating a young woman. Like the way he set it up monetarily was like, when we break up, you have 2 buildings and goodbye. Like that's how rich he was.
Yeah. Well, it's funny also because like the power gap of the age thing is like in your 40s dating someone in your 20s is like, okay, yeah, there's like a big power dynamic. But then when you're in your like, what is he in his 70s, 60s?
He's in his 70s.
Then you start to get into like elder abuse and it goes the other way. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like there's like, it goes
What's
so
she
far
doing
and
to
then
him?
it flips once you get to like a certain level.
Right. There is that was like the Anna Nicole Smith trial.
That was like that whole thing,
his kids were like not letting her.
Right, because there's the idea that she's like, once you become so old that you're like a little mentally like incapacitated, then it's like, if that person comes in at that point, there could be like another.
Right. And then we hear from like women, we have older women who listen to this podcast that are like, I don't want to be a nurse or a purse.
Yeah.
They go, I don't want to nurse a guy. I don't want to pay for a guy. And that's like a common line that you hear a lot. And it's like,
well, that's the issue with being an old man who's poor.
You don't want to be old and poor.
That's, I think, that's sort of the issue there is like, then because no one wants to take care of you.
I'll say this. I mean, that if you're wondering why did he not commit, old and poor for a man.
Not great.
Not great. It's.
What was your options?
You got nothing. No one gives a shit. They'll step over you to get to someone. Old, poor, and ugly.
Yeah.
That's the real trifecta. You don't want to be all 3 of those things.
Yeah, it's tough.
So,
I mean,
well, old, poor, and ugly.
Yes.
I mean, societally, that's a harder life. Like pretty privilege is a thing.
Pretty tough.
So if you're a man, and most men are not attractive.
Yes.
Most men are women have a beauty.
Well, we have more things we can do to like help ourselves. I think men, there's less you can do. You are what you are.
Right. There's no range.
Right. Like I think if you're an ugly man, there's really not much you can do to make yourself attractive.
I wouldn't know.
I mean, you wouldn't. If you're a woman, there's things you can do to put yourself together in a way. I think. Well, it's funny. I started playing music for the girls. Right?
Really?
Yeah, and one of them isn't that into it, and the other one like really likes it. And her favorite song, she lights up to the song "Who Let the Dogs Out." Which is like really cute. She starts like smiling and laughing. At
so Lucy. I know Lucy.
Yeah, she's really. But I'm like, then I realized that song is about like men making fun of ugly women at the club.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes. And I'm like, this doesn't seem like a good
biggest song.
Yeah,
in the world.
And at the time, I guess it wasn't that. I don't think you could write that song now. But the song, if you look at the lyrics, is about like these men basically like talking about a bunch of ugly women walking into the club.
So they got to the club and they're like, who let all the dogs out?
Yes.
Oh my God.
It's so mean.
To think that if you put that in a real scenario, if someone walked into a club.
And you started whooping?
And you're right. Who let the dogs out? That's their response to the talent in the room. That'd be the meanest thing you've ever seen.
Right. That's her favorite part, the woofing.
I know exactly what I'll be singing when I walk in the house this weekend.
It's a good song.
Is Taylor Swift getting married this weekend?
The rumor is that she's getting married at MSG.
What do you feel about that?
I think it's like gross. I hate everything about it. I think it's like MSG would be like the least intimate, most like show-offy, like intent. Like you need to like. It almost would make me think she has like a personality issue.
Oh, I can show you to some ex-boyfriends who would agree with you.
Who might agree.
Yeah.
But I think it's just like, it's the least romantic place I could think of. It would be done just so that you could say that you did it, which is like, to me,
it's been done
it's
before.
Like the opposite of any sort of intimate, like, it's been done before, a wedding in MSG.
Sylvester Stallone.
Really?
Yeah. I just heard it on the news. They were talking about it. But this is why I brought it up.
She cannot let anyone else have their thing. She's co-opting the 250, America 250.
She's
doing it 4th of July weekend.
Yep.
In this, I mean, again, this is assuming she's doing it there because it's not like fully confirmed.
Oh, because it's a secret thing.
Supposedly, but like I feel like there's been a lot of discussion. At first, I thought it was like her PR team leaked this. So that by then now we'll know if it happened. At first I thought her PR team leaked this so that just like as a diversion
right.
against where it really was. But now there's all these signs pointing to like they're shutting down the area on July 3rd. And like there's, I think Mamdani said something about there being a wedding going on. And like it
Marriott
seems like
Marquis has a lot of reservations
totally,
by a lot of the
it seems like it's happening.
Chiefs players.
And then there's been talk
something that's been rumored
that maybe she's doing it there because there's no windows, and so no one could like no unauthorized people could like see or do drone shit like at my house.
But you would have to assume there's other places without windows
that aren't the center of Manhattan.
Right. That's what
Right. You could build something probably pretty easily. I don't know. If it's happening, I think it will lower my opinion of her a lot, and it'll just make both of them just seem like those fucking people.
Well, it would make them seem very new money.
Yes.
Like it's not very like
there's just
chic.
nothing intimate. It seems like it makes the wedding feel like a sham to me because there's nothing intimate or romantic about it.
Let me give some feedback, some devil's advocate here. It is a New York City holiday weekend. City empties out. So it might be the best opportunity to be in the city.
Rich people.
For the rich. Well, I'm saying the city, Times Square, not as busy.
Okay.
As a regular weekend. We always say, what's better than a city weekend, especially for single people? You get in all the restaurants you want. You can go to the bars that are a little bit lighter. If it's a city, holiday weekend, that might help it out. Easy to get people there. Fly to New York. You come into the city. There's multiple hotels. You don't have to worry about transferring everybody. These are all things that I
don't think she needs to worry about transferring everyone.
I know.
Like Taylor Swift can't afford a couple coach buses.
Right. Right. But I guess the argument back is that she's cheap. Like
which she's not, which she and him are not.
You would think. She's not cheap when she gives away money to people.
They were on the beach on towels. So
that's right.
Maybe they didn't want to pay
for chairs at the beach.
It's the beach service.
I remember this. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm with you. It does seem like tacky where it's like, also it's an awareness of people wanting to know about your wedding where it's like you control it. Like, is she taping it all for content? Like,
probably.
Will it be a music video? Like, is that why MSG makes the most sense? Because they can set it up like a soundstage and they can set it up to like have 50 cameras and put it out the way they want it put out. I mean, we live like there's no such thing as documentaries. They're all self-made now. Like everyone controls their own narrative. So maybe this was a way of her control. Like if this becomes a Netflix documentary, I don't know if it's like likable or hateable.
I think it's hateable. I mean, people who love her are always going to love her. And I like her. That's the weird thing. But I just think like this move, I think it's
But
gross.
You would watch it.
No.
You wouldn't watch the Netflix documentary on what she did and how she did it and who she booked and how it all came together and what it looked like? You wouldn't have any curiosity?
I don't care that. I don't have that much care for that level of detail. I don't need that much detail.
Right.
But many people would. I'm just not one of them.
But that's kind of where that's where I get grossed out because it's like,
you're making
how
money
much
off
money
this thing?
do you need?
Right.
How much? Well, we live in an era of gluttony, of the ultra rich, the ultra poor, income inequality. To have no acknowledgement of that and need to make more money, like this is to me like
how much fame
her audience
do you need?
can't.
How
She's
much,
Bezos
more like,
at that point.
How much attention do you need?
How much
the MSG
attention?
thing is like, how much attention do you need? Because if you don't want any attention on your wedding, if you want to have a private, intimate moment,
right,
you're not getting married at MSG.
Right, she could do it at the Mormon church. There's no windows there.
On an island.
Go to Utah, you could do an island.
She can certainly afford to have a wedding, whatever wedding she wants to do, she can afford to do.
She could have gotten an island and had a 747 meet everyone at one airport, get yourself to JFK.
Yeah.
And this 747, three. She could have 3 747.
She wants it to be public. She wants all the stories out about all the shit that she has going on.
She does co-opt a lot of stuff. I mean, that was the accusation way back when. Welcome to New York. That she was like, somehow this was her city. And it's like, you're from Pennsylvania, bitch.
Right. Just because you got like a $20 million Tribeca loft does not make you.
But she did move to New York in her 20s.
Right.
And that does.
Have she taken the subway ever? I don't think you can call.
I have assumed she has.
You think so?
I went. Yeah,
I think you. I don't really think you can take New York as your own if you've never taken the subway.
I would assume she's taken the subway. I've never taken it, but
You have. I took the subway to the Lower East Side.
Ooh, I'm sure you tell everyone at Pilates.
I take the subway everywhere. I love the subway.
I do too.
It's my favorite way to get around.
To not take this, it is actually a personality. You're trying to say something you're not.
Yeah.
If you claim to have never taken the subway or don't want to, like it is not just economical, but like time. So.
Okay. Should we get into our episode?
So a couple things before we get started. uup@betches.com. We want your emails. We love your emails. Specificity, find out what it means to me. We love specific. We love honest. We love vulnerability. uup@betches.com. You can sign up for benefits. We have video now. You're going to see me and Jordana chit-chatting about a little bit of an argument that I was having in my relationship. If you go watch it.
Yes.
So I would love for you to check that out. Go sign up for benefits. We love doing the benefits episodes. It's twice a month. You get an extra 2 podcasts a month where we are personal, vulnerable, also.
If we do
That's
say
right.
so.
I'm on the road. I would love for you to come to a show. If you're listening to this right now, I am going to be in Miami. I'm really in Doral. Which is near the airport.
Which is not pronounced Doral.
Not Doral, not dorsal fin, Florida. It is Doral. It is by the airport. I would love for you to come. I have a set that I'm really figuring out. We're heading towards.
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to see it. Give me some feedback. It's been fun to do. I just did Long Beach. I was just in Long Beach. Loved it. The people of Long Beach, talk about a group of people that talk about this city like it's 8 years away. Like it is when you go to Long Beach, which is like an hour from New York City.
Yeah.
You're right. It should be the Ritz-Carlton. It should be the Hamptons. It is not. It is very much a
beautiful
beach town.
Beach.
It's the most beautiful beach. Maybe it could have been. It is so protected. It is by whatever laws are in place to keep people out. They're doing a great job.
They are. Yes.
You can't even. You can get into a taxi that is like an old minivan, and you share it with 4 people. Like that's from another era.
Yeah.
So had a great time in Long Beach. And so I got shows. The set's coming together. I'm gonna be back in Long Island, the Paramount Theater.
I'll be there as well.
Yeah, Jordana will be there. We want to sell that out. I was there a few years ago. But I'm also going to be in Doral, which is Miami, doing shows there. I'm going to be in Red Bank, New Jersey. I'm going to be in Portland, Maine. I'm going to be in Foxwoods Casino. Would love. That's a big room. I've been already told.
How many
Jared,
people?
I mean, it might be me and 3 ushers. I've played there once before in that theater. It's a big theater.
You're not going to Fire Island, are you?
I am going to Fire Island.
Mike said, because we were looking at like Fire Island things to like maybe go for like a weekend or rent a house for like a week or something like that. And he was like, Jared's going to be in Fire Island? And I was like, no, that must be like a mistake.
I'm going to be there. I've never been before. It's like a private event, but maybe it's open to the public.
When are you going?
It's, I don't fucking know. I'm going to be there.
Have you ever been to Fire Island?
Never. I've been hearing about it my whole life.
Oh my God.
Women love Fire Island.
We do.
No one loves Fire Island. That's on the 25th of July.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'll be in Fire Island. I don't know if the tickets are out there. They might not be on my website.
Right. He saw it somewhere where it was.
Well, it's out there.
Yeah.
When you live in New York, women of New York love telling people they went to Fire Island.
Yes.
Because it makes them sound chill.
Yeah.
There's some sort of personality that women want to have by telling
no cars, no shoes,
flats at the bar.
Yeah.
I've probably told you this before.
Every woman says, I am that woman.
Flats at the bar. You don't have to put on heels. It's like a big thing. But no hotels.
I don't know if you did this, not being from New York, but like, did you ever do like the houses after college in Fire Island?
I never really. I missed it because of stand up. You know, like I couldn't really. I mean, that wasn't my world.
Yeah.
Like my brother did a house on Montauk with friends, and I like went. I remember one weekend I like got in the bus, but I did shows at the Cellar until like 4 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Went home, woke up at 6 so I could get out there. Slept on the bus.
Self-made. Look at you.
This is
Yeah.
This is
the things you gave up.
I gave up the weekend house. I had friends who did it. Like there was some Jersey Shore friends,
right?
And I would pop in.
Well, yeah. Here's why Fire Island was so great.
So you did a house there?
I did many, many weekends in Fire Island, like after college, and I think there was this thing where it's like you graduated college, you got a job, and you realize like, oh, like life kind of sucks now. Like I have to go to work 5 days. This is when you had to go into the office 5 days a week.
Yeah.
I have to go to work 5 days a week to a job that I don't really like that much because it's my first job. I'm not really making any money, and I'm not in college anymore where like my only job was to like basically have fun.
Right.
And so the summer after college, after like your first year, whatever, everyone would rent these houses in Fire Island, and it was like you were back.
I get it.
I think you would go, and or at least I would go, and I would be like, okay, this feels like it's not over.
Right.
It's not over.
It is clinging to a certain
the casualness of it does also more than the Hamptons even or Montauk. I feel like there was this sense of like we could be back in this casual place where everyone is just like us and like wants to just have like party and have fun and
get
pretend
drunk,
we're back there.
Right.
Almost.
And there was like a couple people who would bring up reality, what they do for a living, and you'd be everyone hated those people. Yeah, no
one wants to see anyone who liked their job in Fire Island.
Right. I mean, these weekend houses, Summer House, the show is based off of a real thing.
Yeah.
The idea of these people who work in the city pooling money to live in this house they wouldn't have an opportunity to live in, in an area they wouldn't have an opportunity to live in, and get to like forget reality for a weekend.
Yeah.
And listen, people do this in other parts of the country. You know, I remember my friend moved to San Francisco. They had a Tahoe house.
Right.
You know,
but there's something about it being like an island. You had to take a ferry to it. It was like not easy to get on and off. It was like I just felt like you were back in a bubble. And I think people, at least I'll speak for myself, missed that feeling of like, you're not in this big anonymous city. You're back with like all the people that we went to college with, and everyone's just having fun again.
I mean, great way to meet. If you're in your 20s, you want to be in a relationship. I mean, you could pop out of that. A summer like that, you pop out of it with new contacts on your phone.
Yeah.
You know, like I definitely miss that. I definitely.
It's okay.
Listen,
sorry.
This is why if someone does stand up and they never went to the open mics,
you didn't have to give up Fire Island.
You didn't give up Fire Island?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Anyway, you're going. I'm excited for you. Yeah.
Finally, I get to go and leave immediately because there's no hotels.
So you're not staying.
Where would I stay?
Yeah, I guess you'd have to rent a house.
Do you have a summer house there? Is there a Betches East out there or something?
No, there is not a. Which part are you?
I have no. I mean, I didn't even know what date.
Well, we were looking to like a lot of there's like a different part of the island where a lot of families go.
Well, there's like young Jews, there's young gays, and then there's families.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
And I think the families like it because there's no cars and your kids can kind of like ride bikes and walk around and have this. I think I can understand it also in that.
Who let the dogs out playing at all hours?
At all, if you're lucky, yes.
All right, let's do the emails.
Right.
uup@betches.com. Keep sending them in. What are we talking about today?
All right, let's get into it. I'll read the email. J&J, love the pod and look forward to every episode. Your discussions have actually given me a lot of insight in past relationships and overall self-awareness. We love that.
I love that.
So let's get to the current. My girlfriend, 43, female, and I, 39, female, have been dating for 5 months. We have had talks about our past, finance, and future plans, but there's one interesting detail to her. She is a Philadelphia sports fan.
Is this me running it?
Like I'm sure Jordana is feeling right now, did not understand the magnitude of this. There have been times where I've worn another team's merchandise or mentioned seeing a game of my team for a fun activity, and it has been an immediate no. I am not a huge sports fan, but I have never encountered this type of fan. I've mentioned this sports affiliation to friends, and they immediately go, oh, she's a Phillies fan? Yikes. She's very open to feedback, and we have had in-depth talks regularly, except on this subject. I don't see this as a deal breaker, but when does passion become obnoxious? Jared and Jordana, how do I handle this strong season-based opinion? Is this a quirk that I might have to just ignore? Have either of you experienced something like this? Sincerely, 82 reasons to hate the birds.
I love this email.
Good email.
It's an interesting part. It's an interesting problem. What do you think?
I think you could replace like the Phillies fan or the sports fan with like a lot of other things, and it would be the same question. Like you could say, my girlfriend is really, really into being Catholic. She goes to church every Sunday. She doesn't want to go, not interested in exploring any other religions. And I'm just like not religious at all. Mm-hmm. If you did that, right? I feel like it would have a similar kind of like feeling.
I think more the issue, and I listen, as someone who's been around sports, and I've always been, my team, I've always been away from. I've been playing an away game my whole life.
Right, because
I don't live in Boston, and those were my teams of my youth. And so I have a less homer. I kind of always have to like be
You're
careful.
never like really standing up for you're never diehard.
Right. Yeah. And I'm not you and I are probably similar.
I mean, your brother also works for a non-Boston team.
Well, I've kind of left the Patriots behind. I'm a Bears fan now because of that. It's my brother. And
now you actually have an incentive to like actually really have a
totally, which a
brother
normal
stands to make money from that.
Totally, that's how a normal human being would react to. Oh, that's why you like the Bears,
right?
There are people who can't get around it. They have like a sickness, and like they'll be like, "But you're not a like you've turned." I'm like, I still like the Patriots. I hope for the best for them. But it's a different fandom that my brother is now part of another team.
Right.
Like if you can't understand that, I'm like, I really can't understand your perspective on anything.
I mean, the interesting thing about that is that people get traded in these teams all the time. And they're not like, I'm actually like a Bears fan. I refuse to be traded. No one would ever.
Right.
They have no allegiance, but you have allegiance.
Right.
They're on the team.
And with free agency and with kind of the nature of sports in this day and age, the players don't live in your town a lot of times. Like they get done with the season, they go to Miami, so there's a lot, back in a certain time, they worked amongst you. They were also Bostonians, they were also New Yorkers, and that's not really the case anymore.
Right.
I don't see this as a deal breaker, but when does passion become obnoxious? I love that perspective, that line, because it can be obnoxious to say, just because it's about, I think a lot of these people, and to take it away from Philadelphia fans are disgusting.
Are they? What's their? Why would you say yikes to a Phillies fan?
The passion out is kind of to the point where you go, you're putting on a mask.
I thought that about Boston.
Boston has the same thing. It happens in any provincial town, like where like New York has a Manhattan transplant. Like, I never felt uncomfortable in Manhattan as a Boston fan. When I remember I wore a Red Sox hat on stage in Staten Island, and people wouldn't stop booing. And I was like, what are you booing? I haven't even spoken yet. They're like, your hat! And I'm like, oh, you're all stupid. Like, I think less of you as a person when you can't have a fun talk about sports.
Right.
I do. To me, it reveals people.
Yeah.
So, like, when someone, like, if I'm watching a game,
or
I'm
anything else that you're passionate about.
Right,
I really do think.
Right. If you can't have awareness that
you're
other
so
people
closed
might,
off or hate anyone who has a different proclivity towards you.
That's where I agree with the, if religion is your passion, that you can't even like understand that there might be people in the room with you that have different religions.
Right.
It's the same thing. I think for this person, the difference is, hey, my team's on. Like, now your girlfriend becomes a different person.
I can't imagine
that's crazy.
And she says like everything else is great, but I can't imagine that kind of person who would be like that doesn't show up elsewhere in their personality.
Right. I agree with that, but I also think sometimes it's let off the hook, especially if you're in Philly, if you're in the town.
Right.
That we're all doing the same thing. With this, if we put it out as a clip, it would have a bunch of people commenting, "Go Birds," and they would get support from whatever people that wanted to fuck with this clip would do. Like they would go, "Yeah, go Birds," and they would all kind of massage each other with this "Go Birds," and they would all turn into this disgusting group of people together,
right?
And not think they're disgusting. I would look at them and go, "Yeah, this isn't fun for anyone else." You've taken over the conversation with something that's about something completely different.
Yeah.
And if you can't get beyond that because of your team, I'm like, you're really just like not a fun hang. I like watching games with people whose teams are not my team. Like, I like the discussion, the debate.
Right.
It
well,
can
you're not
be
crazy.
fun. So I to me, I get it. This person writing in like,
right. I mean, I don't think I could date this person, but if that exists in a vacuum for her, I think it's fine. Like if that doesn't show up in other parts of her personality where she's unwilling to see recognize that other people are.
But to me, that's when it becomes like kind of like politics. Like it's like this is like having a relative where anytime something comes up political, you got to get into their rant. You have to hear their bend that you disagree with, but don't really care that much about it.
Right.
And now it's like, right.
Yeah.
But now you're like stuck in the conversation with someone that you're like, I like you, but this is like a part of you that I don't really look to engage with you on. And that's like, I've had that where like, I know there are people in my life where like, if politics gets heard in the background, they're like a bird. And all of a sudden I got to like talk about something that I have no passion for.
Right.
And then I don't care enough and I disagree with them, and now I have to like.
And you can't say anything slightly favorable about anything else, just like the team here or the person like goes nuts.
Right. So like, it's kind of like this like weird, like.
That's why I think it's a little bit of a person. I don't think it could exist in that total isolation
of just this. Right.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Cause like it does take, again, if the Phillies are on in the background at a bar and you're on a date with your girlfriend and now you kind of hear it and you're like, oh, I want to stay away from that topic. I don't want to like that can ruin a relationship. I don't want to
set them off.
Right.
I don't want to set them off. Anytime you have to stay in a relationship, I don't want to set them off is kind of like a little red flaggy.
What would you do?
How do I handle this? I guess she's saying,
because
right?
and I know what's happening with them. They're becoming this person about Philly sports, and if they live in Philly, they're getting like all in backup,
right?
Like the group is like, you don't like the bird, and it like even if there is tongue in cheek, they're all just dogpiling you.
Yeah, I think,
and you're the one that has no personality. You're the one who can't have fun. It's like, no, you guys are all fucking encouraging each other to be garbage.
I think you could say to this person, listen, like, love that you're passionate about the sport. It's a little off-putting when you're so intense that like no one can even say anything about another team. Or if she says, what did she say? I've mentioned seeing a game of my team for fun activity, or if and it's been an immediate no. And what did she say? That she wore something?
There have been times this year where I've worn another team's merchandise or mentioned seeing a game of my team for a fun activity, and it's been an immediate no. Like when you leave no other air in the room for your partner on any subject, you're a bad partner.
Right.
I
think you could say, I think that's off-putting to me. You're not like respecting that I might have like might not be as intense as you, and it's almost like yucking your yum.
Right.
If every time, like, let's say, even if you don't like chocolate, if every time I have a piece of chocolate around you, my partner, you're like, gross, ew, that's just like rude.
Right, and it's annoying, and you don't even get to have fun with that with ice cream anymore.
Right.
Like, there's no fun with ice cream.
Unless we're eating your flavor.
Right. And it's like, that's not fun at all. We can't even go to an ice cream shop together unless I abide by your terms.
It's immature.
Like, I could happily go to another team stadium and put on their hat and be like, this is fun. This is all part of the leaving my own troubles behind.
Yes.
And if you won't even let me do, like this, I can understand where they're like, they'll go to a Phillies game with their partner, put on the hat. Whoa, you're wearing our hat now. Now you got to be like demeaned in front of everyone. Like it goes all ways.
Right.
So yeah,
I think she could say it's a little bit of a turnoff.
It's a total turnoff. Yeah. And I think the ice cream example works. Like, hey, I'd like to like enjoy baseball too. Like I enjoyed it in a different way than you. But when you like, berate me for even like trying to be involved in it, even though my level of fandom isn't like yours, it turns me off to the whole thing and we don't get to spend time together.
Yeah. See how that goes.
UUP at Betches.com. UUP at Betches.com. Keep sending in. We are going to do an Icky or Picky. Ready?
Let's do it.
Icky or Picky is a great game. Basically, you date someone, one thing happens, you get the ick. Is it a true ick? Is it a valid ick? Or are you being a little picky? Ready?
Yep.
I saw this video online and I'm seeing a rise from women proposing to men. I guess I'm a traditionalist, but can't help but be icked out by this. Need J&J's take. Okay, signed, questioning my feminism. So what do we think? We're going to take a look at this video. I wanted to watch in real time. And this is the woman proposing
and you're saying,
to the
and this
man.
is a trend, apparently.
I've heard of it. I mean, I could speak to, there's a comedian who talks about it on stage, so I feel comfortable talking about it, who's very funny, Matthew Broussard. He was proposed to by his, I think they're married now, wife. She's a comic too. But
what did he say about it?
He talks about it on
stage. This is a World Cup player? Or
at the World Cup.
It's like fans at the World. Okay, it's not like someone who's okay.
Maybe we could talk to Broussard about it.
I mean, very romantic if your boyfriend's into sports to propose at the game ish. How would you feel about this?
I'm watching him. How would I feel? What do you give the guy? And
ring?
Look, she's happy about it.
Is she giving him a ring?
Yeah, she gave him a ring. This isn't for me.
Okay.
I mean, like, this is like.
What if, like, in a public place, Emily gets down on one knee?
One knee and proposes to me?
Yeah. What would your reaction be?
I'd be like, get up. I don't want people seeing this shit.
The World Cup.
On TikTok. TV. To me, there's like, this is something that I think the world is losing a little bit. It's like, I can tell when someone's laughing with me or at me, right. And this has a very similar vibe. This felt like a very beautiful thing. It felt like she really meant what she did, and it felt like that matched the dynamic of the relationship, which is very nice. I think if it was done in a way where it was meant to embarrass the fiance and make a point, which I don't know how that happens.
Would that happen?
That's the only way I can see being against it.
Right.
I'm trying to think of like why I can understand.
I think it's a little embarrassing for the woman. I mean, we've talked about this on benefits, but I think there's this innate societal, biological, whatever it is, feeling of wanting to be like pursued and chased. And part of the chase thing is like the man is literally getting on the floor, getting on one knee and expending making an investment in a ring and like asking you to be with him. And I think that part feels really nice.
Right. I guess, we live in a world where like, I think it's so funny that we're all siloed into like different parts, but like we have this like very extreme groupthink going on where like everything has to be agreed upon or put through the moral, the purity test, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And like, this is made for Joe Rogan fans to hate. And,
I mean, I'm not offended by it.
To support. Like, I'm not offended by it.
I'm not offended by it, but would I do it? No, I think I told this on a story before where I was saying my therapist had mentioned when I was like waiting for Mike to propose. And I was like, I wanted it to be a little sooner than he did, where he was like, you should propose to him. And, I later told Mike this after he had proposed, and he was like, I would have been really, really upset if you did that.
Of course.
I would not have wanted that at all.
But it doesn't match the dynamic of your relationship. Like, this is where it comes down to like, it's whatever your dynamic is. Like, this person saying that they get icked out by it.
Right.
I agree with them.
Yeah.
I watch this, I go, not for me.
Yeah.
And if it happened to me, I would go, I have found a partner that doesn't know me very well. But not for me doesn't mean
not for anyone.
Not for anyone.
Yeah.
And it's like, that is like the worst. I mean, this podcast that I love doing so much, we suck at it. Like there's someone out there who will say in a way to this, there's a podcaster out there who will frame the argument in a way where no one should ever do this. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that.
Listen,
you're not going to do that.
It works. Like, if it works for these people, I think it's fine.
But it also shows you what you're bringing up is how much society is at play with our decision making.
Right.
Because you're saying I think a lot of women want to feel pursued, which is this is flies in the face of pursuit. And, someone could easily go, what does it matter what everyone else thinks?
Right.
And it's like, yeah, it doesn't matter. Of course it doesn't matter what everyone else thinks. But it's also okay to say, I get icked out by this.
Right.
And I get that.
Well,
I think also it's okay to be icked out by someone walking around bragging that they proposed to their husband. I think you can propose to your now husband and it's part of your story and it fit your dynamic. And I think there's a classy way to talk about it.
Can you imagine that guy saying no?
I mean, if he said, that would be the most entertaining video of all time.
That would be the meanest. I mean, if a woman said no to a man, it's very embarrassing for the man. But if a man said no to a woman who proposed to him in public in a World Cup game, I think that would be like, everyone would think he was so mean.
Of course. To me, the fact that camera was set up in such a way and it was at the World Cup, it would not surprise me to find out if one of them is a content creator and this was their way of getting views and getting followers and making money. Like I'm in that world where I don't even trust. Like if someone does, because I know two sides of a debate are going to form. Like that is the most debatable video.
Right. Yeah, you already know what the comments are going to say.
You already know. Yeah. That's why I don't I don't even respect it. I'm like, yeah.
If it's done for that reason, maybe it's just. Well, it's funny. We talked about this on Oversharing about like the last name, taking the man's last name when you get married, or having your kids take the man's last name.
Did you take the last name?
Legally,
but I never know what to call. I actually stopped short of it.
Well, what?
With you, I go Jordana.
Whatever. Yeah. I don't care. I don't care which one people use. Mm-hmm. Which is almost more annoying, I think, for people and for me.
That's the hard part for me. If I'm going to make this about me,
I would say professionally, like my stage name, is Jordana Abraham. But like legally and personally, if I'm making reservations, I'm making them under Marinelli. If I'm booking I changed it legally because I just felt left out. Because my kids are Marinelli.
Right, okay.
My kids are Marinelli. I don't want to be like the person who's not.
Well, your kids could have been Abraham Marinelli.
They could have been. I mean, I was Rosenberg Abraham. That was my mom's maiden name. Okay. That was my middle name. I didn't want to do that. It's kind of long, and I didn't feel that strongly about it. But it's funny. But culturally, a lot of Latin families or Hispanic families do use them. It's just done in that. Yeah. If they use the mother's last name and the father's last name. They do a hyphen or they do both. And so it is very cultural. No one thinks of it as a feminist statement.
Right.
For us, it would be.
Sure. And that's kind of why, the tiptoe from my end is I don't want to disrespect you or Mike.
Right.
I'm like, Abraham, I don't want, if I come over to the house, I'm like,
he doesn't care
Jordana Abraham Marinelli, and he's like, no, it's my last name. This is my house.
He's literally indifferent. He was never change your name or don't change your name. He's like, do whatever you want. Which is almost annoying. I was like, don't you want me to change my name? He was like, if you're not comfortable, it doesn't bother me.
Wouldn't it be great if the couple made their own name?
I've heard of a lot of lesbian couples doing that.
Really? They don't take anyone's last name.
They combine the last names or they make their own last name.
And they choose their own. Yeah,
if you were gay, how would you decide, right? Sometimes
how do you decide? My straight friends have done that. You have straight friends who have done that? Well, that's a very city person move.
Right. I mean,
that is what Fox News reports on about New York City. Yeah, she's got to be.
Well, my mom had the first 4 kids.
Yeah.
Regular middle names or no middle name. The second 4 kids, including me, she felt jilted by her first husband. Okay. She was kind of a little bit of an angry at men thing.
Yeah.
And the bottom 4 of us had Rosenberg, middle name.
Your dad should have known. There was as far as writing into this podcast, hey, I'm dating someone, and they're like, I gotta have from the first one.
And I felt like. I think that was another reason I got rid of that as my middle name. Mm-hmm. So now my last name, instead of Jordana Rosenberg Abraham, I'm Jordana Abraham Marinelli. I kind of felt like that middle name was tinged with an anti-manness a little bit.
And it had bad voodoo.
It had bad vibes because I knew that was a reaction to a bad first marriage experience. And so I always felt like it was a weird statement that I had to carry that I didn't necessarily stamp my name on.
And a story that you had to explain
Right.
Without no one asking. Like, you know, like, whoa, your middle name is what? Well, my mom was mad at the first marriage. You know, like, you kind of go into a story that no one really wanted, but you feel you have to tell or else you feel like you're lying. Like,
and
you're leaving out a big part.
The vibes always felt weird about it. And I think I told you this, like when my mom was pregnant with me, my parents were fighting so much that they were almost going to like split up. And there was like a discussion about if they should keep the baby.
Oh my God.
Which is me. And my mom, because my dad was like, if you weren't pregnant, I would like leave. And my mom was like, well, maybe I'll just like have an abortion. And then, but like, if I do that, I'm not having any more of your kids. And he was like, all right, fine, keep it. And here I am.
And here you are. And then they had two more.
Yeah, and then they had two more. So, which was, and it did not work out. Shocking. It did not work out. It did not work out. But, yeah, do you know what I mean? Like all this, like it never felt like the name was done in like a happy way, a fun, happy way. I was like happy. I was a little happy to get rid of it.
It tells you something about how I agree with you. I think like it tells you like how if you do things out of spite, like it doesn't go
do what
away,
you want it,
right?
What you want
like,
it to do.
Like it actually can further into other generations. Like you know that's so wild.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
It was a weird situation. Anyway.
Listen, good for the couple that got engaged.
Good for them. He looked happy, I think, but like I guess you'd have to. I don't know.
I also don't think this person's being picky. I think it's a totally normal ick. This is the problem to me, again, not to go society again, but like
does any man want to be proposed to? Like you think there's
I've never met them.
Can you imagine that?
Can I imagine it? I can imagine anything.
Okay.
But I don't know one man that I wouldn't make fun of for having this happen.
Respectfully.
Yes. Right. You can do it in your relationship.
Well, that guy who got, sorry, I interrupted your story in the beginning. The stand-up guy who got proposed to, what was his commentary on it? He's
very pro it. He talks about it in a very nice, wonderful way.
You would have to.
Joe, go check out Matthew Broussard.
I mean, the fact that he can joke about it, I assume means he is very cool with it.
Yeah, Matthew Broussard and Lauren Sogar, they're both comics, very funny. And he's got great specials on YouTube that you can go watch. I don't remember. I just remember the jokes being funny. You know, like, it's just funny, not funny. But his stand-up's very good. But hearing him talk about it, you can tell, like, again, it's an interesting topic to do jokes about.
Yeah, and I assume he's comfortable with it because he's doing jokes. If he didn't do any jokes about it, I almost would think that he was really upset about it.
Right. I would be more. I think the part that I think would surprise people who got proposed to in this way is how does it get handled afterwards? It's like to me, it's like the similar thing to like when women outwardly say I'm the breadwinner, like. Which is weird because I don't remember all these men loudly telling people they're the breadwinner, but they didn't have to.
But if they and sometimes they do. I mean, they have historically, but I think if they do, that says something about them as well.
I would think that's a dick in the same way I think the woman who says I'm the breadwinner is a dick. Like, so I think maybe the surprise from being proposed to by my wife would be, I would hope that they that it's done in a respect, like, I don't know, like if a guy was like, and I got the biggest ring and I got on the knee and I did it really well, I'd be like, what a loser.
Right.
So.
Like Jet. Sorry.
Someone said that they were like, I posted a video of Emily and I at the spa, like we went to a head spa, and someone was like, you're like the it was not normal. It was like the regular
version of
Jet and
the poor man's Pookie and Jet.
Poor man's Pookie and Jet. We're disgusting Pookie and Jet.
No, you're not. I would have an intervention.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, let's do another email.
All right. Hello, J&J. Let me start by saying I'm a longtime listener, subscriber, and for years have seen Jared's shows whenever he's in town. I've even traveled for a few too. Wow.
Thank you.
I had a great time at your recent book signing in Denver.
The book signing in Denver was great.
Now let's jump right in. I'm a 32-year-old female and my fiance is a 40-year-old male, and we've been together for about 3.5 years. We're getting married this summer and I couldn't be more excited. But he doesn't pay attention to details when it comes to planning, and it's starting to annoy me. A few examples. 1, he bought tickets for us to see a comedy show tonight, and all over their website it says to only buy tickets directly through their website at comedyworks.com and no resellers.
Great club.
It turns out he bought tickets from a scam website for over 4 times the face value price.
I think this is something as a comedian, I'm with her.
Where
it's
you're like,
that's a mistake. That's like an unforgivable mistake.
Okay.
like there's a place to buy them.
I guess you probably Googled
Google.
I could see it happening.
Go to the website.
To
Go to the artist website. Like I'm sitting here, like you go to their website.
This is your job, so of course you know this, right?
I'll take it back.
It's not a sold out show, so there was no reason to pay so much more. 2, we've gone to get our rental car at the airport only to realize he booked it for the wrong dates. 3, he's made restaurant reservations at the wrong location, etc. He gets very frustrated with himself whenever something like this happens. So then I just say, it's okay, it's not a big deal, rather than piling on and making him feel worse. However, now that it's becoming more of a pattern, I'm wondering if I should be a little harder on him about it. I'm a little bit more of the type A1 in our relationship, and I've done most of the planning for our travels, wedding, honeymoon, etc. And I don't mind doing it, but it would just be nice to feel like my partner can handle things too every now and then. He's a very thoughtful person when it comes to me, his friendships, his job, etc. And I don't think it's weaponized incompetence thing. It truly feels like he just simply doesn't pay attention to details when planning things. Jordana, does this ever happen with Mike? Jared, you said men aren't as clueless as we make them out to be. But what if he is when it comes to these things? Should I be harder on him about it or just accept that this is how he is and I am the planner in our relationship? Sincerely, a reservationless bitch.
I think this is an interesting email. Mostly because when she says, Jared, you said men aren't as clueless as they ought to be. I don't think he's acting clueless.
I don't think she means about that.
Yeah, like
you mean about that, right?
When I say men aren't as clueless, he's actually doing the things that I would say men aren't as clueless about. Like they're not as clueless about knowing that you'd like them to do something. You know, he knows. He's making the reservation. He's doing the things. He just sucks at doing the things.
Yeah.
And the weaponized incompetence thing, I think, has been overplayed. Like,
I believe it is a thing, but I don't think this is it.
This isn't it. Like, fucking up on the tickets to make it about he's fucking up so he doesn't have to buy tickets again. Like, that's
so he's
crazy.
Paying 4 times the amount.
Right. So that argument's out the window for me.
Yeah.
I just think this is who he is.
I agree. And I'm someone who's been on the other end of this. I think it's not on purpose. Like, I'm kind of this way with like putting stuff together. Like sometimes I'll have to like, if I'm putting together like a high chair or a thing or something in my house or a furniture or whatever, like there's something where my brain just doesn't like compute it correctly, where I usually fuck it up in some way. Mm-hmm. Like I'll put the wrong screw in the wrong thing. It just never comes together in that way. And I'm kind of like, it's just easier if Mike puts stuff together. He's just better at it. His brain works in that way. He's very good at like following directions and doing like that sort of thing and making sure he's meticulous about it. I'm a lot better about planning our trips. When he's planned any trips without me, where he's going somewhere alone, he usually fucks something up too. Right. I'm kind of like, why are we fighting what we're naturally good at? I'm sure he's good at something else.
Right.
I would imagine. Let him focus on the thing he's already good at, and you can take the backseat to that.
Right. I'm with you. Like you know, it's funny. Like written here, you're like, yeah, that's annoying. You know, like I could understand being turned off by an incompetence. Oh, you should know how to do that. Like, sure. What the fuck? But then there's a part of life where that becomes beautiful. There's a thing called like shared brain. Like when like
you're good at this, you do that, and I'm good at this, I do this.
And then over years, it becomes so entrenched in a relationship that an older couple, when they're 80 and then like the husband passes away.
Right. The woman just has to die.
She's got to die.
Right.
Like, because half her brain, like he had all the passcodes.
Yeah.
Like his brain held the passcodes. She planned the dinners.
Yes.
Like he did, you know, he had the cell phone bill stuff and she had.
And that's efficient.
It's efficient and it's how it happens over time. And if you tell the story at a funeral, everyone's like, that's beautiful. Like that's wonderful. The way it susses out, I think comes from a lot of anger and frustration. Like you couldn't plan the comedy club show. What the fuck is wrong with you? I'll do it. And then over 40 years of marriage, I'll do it is less annoyed and more that's what I do.
Right. Well, I think it's like annoying if you're doing everything. If the person can't do anything, if there's nothing that they're good at, that's like a little irritating. But it doesn't, she's not saying that. I don't know if that's the case.
Well, and you don't want to have it turn into complacency. Like that's the slippery slope of like, listen, I'm doing the reservations from now on. You don't want that to turn into he doesn't plan a birthday
anything,
for you.
Yeah.
You know, like, and that's the hard part is letting him know, like, listen, you're out of the vacation planning game.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean I want you doing nothing.
Yes.
You know, you kind of have to like, he's got to find his way to
give him something simpler. I want the birthday dinner at a nice place.
Right.
Don't forget to check the dates.
Right. Or you plan the birthday, you take care of my birthdays, but from now on, everything we do together, I'm doing it.
Right.
Because I'm not showing up to a comedy club where we'd have no tickets anymore.
Right.
You know, like that's...
And I used to have that fight with Mike about, like, not really a fight, but it was like disagreement where I was like, I plan all of the trips. Like, it's like, and he's like, well, I don't think you want me to plan the trips. And I'm like, I don't. I just want you to be grateful that I plan the trips because I do a great job.
Right.
And I think that's what maybe she wants here.
Right.
So like, why doesn't she could just do it and he can be grateful and do other shit.
And she says, I'm more of the type A one in our relationship. Okay. Do you like doing those things? And if you don't like doing those things, maybe it's a discussion of like, we hire people to do certain things, you know, and take it out of our
here in our
hands.
benefits episode.
That's right.
That was the crux of that.
Go sign up. UUP@betches.com. Let's play some games. You ready?
Let's do it.
Red flag or deal breaker. It is the game that is sweeping the country. You're dating someone. One thing happens. You have to decide, is it a red flag and you just notice it and keep dating them? Or is it a deal breaker? You end it sight unseen. J&J, love the pod. Longtime listener, Feather. I've got a red flag or deal breaker for you. Me, 27 female, I've been with my boyfriend, 29 male, for almost a year and a half, and have just recently taken our first vacay together that required a flight. He is active duty military. Well, thank you for your service. And loves the added perk of pre-boarding, and even goes as far to not book with airlines that don't offer pre-boarding for service members. I didn't know there was an airline that didn't do it.
I didn't know that either. But I could see, I feel like you wouldn't book with an airline that didn't have your perks.
Not for a big vacation.
Yeah.
I'm going Delta. I want to be treated right.
That part doesn't feel weird to me.
Okay. No, it doesn't feel weird. He says it's because he always wants a place for his bag in the overhead and then likes to get comfy before everyone else. I'm so proud of him for all he does for our country and have no issue if he wants to board early. But my issue is how he handled it with me. When I asked if I could board with him, he made it a very big deal that I was not allowed and that he would go ahead, make sure his bag had a spot in the overhead, and wait for me on the plane to board with everyone else. When I brought up that family members can also board with their active duty partners, he said, well, we are not family. Ooh. And that he was going to still board without me. This hurt my feelings as we have talked about engagement, and I feel like he could be the one. While we are not legally family, the fact that he would say that and still defend that he should board without me really pissed me off. Once we worked it out, we polled our siblings, and everyone said that if he had a problem with me also pre-boarding, then he should wait and board with me in economy. I guess the whole situation made me feel unwanted, as I would never do that to him, and was looking forward to our first big travel day together. Of course, the travel day came and he boarded without me, although I just had to laugh at that point because I had made my peace and we had a great trip. My question is this: red flag or deal breaker? Your serious boyfriend insists he boards the plane before you do, or am I being oversensitive? Sincerely, a back-of-the-line bitch.
I would break up with this guy. That is crazy. Because the way you do one thing is the way you do everything.
It's pretty
bad. This guy is all about himself.
Right. Based on this explanation, it's pretty bad. I mean, I have in the book a story about boarding the plane and
first class
and getting upgraded, and it happened with Emily, who I'm with now.
Okay.
So
did it happen with your ex as well?
It may have.
I feel like we talked about
the story was about Emily.
Yeah. Okay.
That I tell in the book.
Okay.
And how I felt regret about it.
Because you took the upgrade?
Because I took the upgrade and thought it was funny.
Did you offer it to her?
I don't remember if I offered it to her.
You didn't offer it?
I think it was like we were split up. you know, and she had to go to another seat. And then I was told that, you know, she didn't feel great about it. And then, you know, then we broke up, and then I was on a flight later, like a year later, and I saw this couple, like one go to the first and one go to the back. And I had this kind of like realization about how that looked and how that seemed so stupid and trivial.
Right.
And reading this email brings me back to that, because like I'm sure, like, you know, there's a little bit of ego here.
Yeah.
It feels like he, you know, if I'm giving him empathy, because like, yeah, this is the way he said it, like reading it from this perspective is bad.
Why wouldn't he at least try to have her board with him? That's also weird.
To me, this is an ego thing. This
like
is
you didn't
like,
serve, you don't get to.
I served, and this is where I find a lot of value. And this is where like I get to like walk in front of everyone like I'm at the parade, and people go, oh, look at active service member, thank yous. And I think, and if you're with me, maybe it takes away from it. I don't know. I'm giving empathy to someone that I'm sure a lot of people listening are like, fuck this dude. And
well, I'm just kind of like, this guy's out for him. With a seat upgrade, she's not even asking him to like give it to her instead.
Mm-hmm.
She's just saying like, come up with me. One thing if he tried, he's like, okay, let's try. And then they tried. And then the woman was like, oh, sorry, it's only for active service members, not for you.
Right.
And then the fact that he wouldn't even offer, the not offering part, getting an upgrade and not offering it, even if you don't really mean it, is kind of crazy to me. I know. But
right.
With Emily, I hope you offered it.
I think I would have, but I don't remember. Maybe not. I'm not going to make myself a better person without remembering if I actually was.
I mean, I've gotten upgraded on flights with Mike.
Yeah.
I always offer it. If he took it, it'd be really weird. Unless he was like sick.
Yeah.
In which case I would say like, yeah, of course. Or he's a very tall guy. So sometimes he needs a seat with a little more space.
Totally. But the upgrade stuff is so different to me than this because this is just
to say we're not family.
Right.
Weird.
You're putting a line in the sand that is so specific.
Right.
That you have to wonder what this is about.
Wouldn't you as a man just feel weird just abandoning your girlfriend like at the
as a soldier? Abandoning your troop.
Yes.
You know?
And maybe they're not family, they're not strangers, they're sleeping together, they're dating, they're in a relationship.
It is their first time traveling together. That
makes it worse.
I know,
I think it'd be like if like you got an upgrade and you've been married for like 3 years, I think, all right, fine, take the upgrade. You get
this is not an upgrade.
I know, but I'm saying
I think it's very important.
You've been traveling together for years, and like he's like, I really like am very anxious about not getting my bag on this time. Like I really don't want to check it. I'm just gonna go on.
Yeah.
Fine. Your first time traveling together? That's icky.
I think your first time, you're finding out how important it is for him to be recognized for his service. That's my interpretation.
He could still be recognized with her there.
Sure, but I'm saying he has not experienced
That's
flight.
A man who's looking out for number one.
Yeah, but I do believe he could see the error of his ways. I think she needs to
play this for him.
I think she needs to right. She needs to tell him this was really this was like icky, and like I think it's okay to say like it's not a deal breaker. I think it's a red flag if he keeps to this.
Right.
Like I think that's if he's like you're not my family when you're my family, then maybe then you can bore with me. Like if these are the rules of how he lives his life, and it also to like what does it kind of bleed into? Of that she could never does he think being in the armed services is somehow so not understandable that she can't be let in? Like this is kind of a physical showing of that.
I mean, the ironic thing about it is kind of like what you said before is like, thank you for your service means you're sacrificing, right? That's the whole reason you're being recognized is that you're a person who sacrificed. This is someone, forget the country. This is like the one girlfriend you have.
Listen, and you left her behind.
Yeah.
I would be more annoyed from my end if I was with someone that didn't come with me. Like when I get the upgrade and I'm like with someone, or I'm Delta Diamond, I get to board first, you're with me. And if they're like, no, well, I don't want to like cut the line. I'm like, no.
Get in.
Don't
do this.
This is about efficiency.
Right.
The whole family's got to go. Don't fuck with my...
Yes.
This
is your area where you know what you're doing.
Just get in my pocket. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like that. If that would be the more annoying thing to me, not listening. Yeah. So
this would be a deal breaker.
This is a tough one.
Unless you explained it and he came around.
Yeah. Let's do another.
Okay. Hi, Jared and Jordana, longtime benefit subscriber and huge fan. Thanks for always making my day. I have a red flag or deal breaker / am I the asshole scenario. I'm a single woman in my early 30s who recently matched with a guy on Raya in another city. After a week of great conversation, I flew down to visit him since I have friends there and figured it would be a fun, low-stakes weekend. We really hit it off. The first night, things got steamy. He asked me to go down on him, but as soon as I touched him, I felt multiple bumps that immediately made me think of genital warts. Important context, I'm a dermatologist. Genital warts are one of the most common things I diagnose and treat, so I'm very familiar with what they look and feel like. That's very important context. I tried convincing myself I was just in doctor mode, but once I put my mouth on him, I knew I couldn't ignore it. I stopped and said, I'm so sorry. I know this is awkward timing, but I'm feeling some bumps and I'm worried they could be warts. Can we pause and talk? He got embarrassed and defensive, saying an urgent care doctor had told him years ago that they were just skin tags. I disagreed medically, but didn't want to argue and was ready to drop it. Instead, he insisted I examine him more closely. I said it wasn't necessary, but he kept pushing, convinced I'd realize he was right. So I grabbed my phone, turned on the flashlight, and there I was, naked, crouched over him in the dark, inspecting his penis from inches away because I wasn't wearing my contacts. They were definitely warts. At that point, I felt terrible for how vulnerable he already felt, so I didn't double down. We went to bed, recovered surprisingly well the next day, and kept talking for another couple of weeks. The problem came later. He kept joking about that night you falsely accused me of having genital warts. Eventually, I replied, remember that time a dermatologist told you that you might have genital warts and you refused to believe her? He said I was mean, hurtful, inaccurate, and an asshole. The actual possibility of genital warts wasn't the issue for me. They're common and treatable. The deal breaker was how defensive he became. Dating as an adult means having awkward conversations about sexual health, and it felt like protecting his ego mattered more than having an honest conversation. So my questions are, was I actually the asshole here? Could I have handled this differently? Does my dermatologist brain follow me into situations where it doesn't belong? What's a better way he could have handled this? And finally, red flag or deal breaker, the woman who interrupts foreplay to pull out a flashlight and perform an impromptu genital exam, or the guy who desperately wanted a second opinion until he got one. Sincerely, lady in the streets, dermatologist in the sheets.
It's a great email.
Good email. Very of the show. A lot of details, context.
Also, I actually...
uncomfortable conversations.
This is had comfortably. I think she is like a total green flag. I think she's like...
She did this so nicely.
So nicely. I understand. I think he is... If I'm to give empathy to the guy that no one really kind of... I'm assuming
Listen,
everyone's
this is
like,
very embarrassing.
It's embarrassing, but also the men knowing about physical health is just... men just are generally like, don't ask, don't tell.
Right. I think he's embarrassed and scared.
Right. He's totally.
And I think the scared thing is the thing that probably he wants to cover up.
And he doesn't want to be accused of anything. Like
She's not even doing that.
No, right. She seems totally reasonable and nice, and she's like I can help you take. She's like being more helpful than anything else. I think also like when you go, to the doctor, I think like I've been to the doctor where I've asked questions. It's like tough to ask, and they're all not really good at communicating with you what you have or don't have. And I
think doctors, the side of their brain that's good at being a doctor is usually not that good at communication and bedside manner a lot of the time.
Because I've been there, I'm like, I've taken I go, give me, I literally, it is so hard to tell a doctor, test me for everything. Yes. Because I go in there, I go, give me all the tests. And then they come back, I go, and I've been in the doctor's office with my current doctor and been like, we good? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, can you just explain this?
Right, yeah.
Get in a way, can you tell me I can fuck? You know,
Right.
like you know,
Can I hear like a human person? Can you like a human person? Can you like a human to human?
And the more they don't say, the more awkward it feels to ask questions. So like, honestly, you want to look at the doctor and go, "There's a cup of my cum. If someone drinks it, is that okay? Like, are we good? Like,
imagine you're sleeping with the doctor.
I would love it.
Right.
I would be like, good that you can give me all. I can feel totally 100% sure that I am not making, because I think for this guy, he got very scared and defensive because it's ego, but it's also like, I don't want, like, I met you on Raya. Like, I don't want to be, not knowingly do this, and now I've been running, I'm out there on Raya hooking up. Like, this guy's hooking up.
Well, it's probably, and again, he's saying it in the moment, so it's more embarrassing in the moment. Not that she's done anything wrong. I think she did this perfectly, but I think it's like in the moment, you're in a very vulnerable position, your penis is out, and you're being told that that you might have something, which is like scary and embarrassing at the same time in that moment, especially. So I can understand why someone would have their not ideal reaction in the moment. I think what gets me is the part later where he's like being weird about it.
He's being weird about it because he's also trying to like set the narrative. So he's trying to say to her, remember that, like the reason
she's saying I was like confused about it because she's saying he did have it.
Right. And he's trying to say,
I didn't have it.
He's trying to say that he's not giving verbal consent that I even know something like that. I think that's what he's more trying to do, and it is annoying. That's
the worst part to me than the part in the. Well, I could see him like the part that happens in the moment where he's like, can you take another look? Like, do I? Like, what?
Well. Can you take another look is a show of like vulnerability.
Yes.
Like it's like actually
and her
like,
inspecting is like right.
And then not believing her, you're disrespecting her as a doctor.
Yeah. I would believe her a lot more than an urgent care doctor who a lot of the times they don't know shit about shit. No offense to urgent care doctors.
Well, even less offensive to urgent care doctors, she has skin in the game.
Yes, this actually affects her. So, pun intended. Yes.
Right. So, like, she literally is protecting herself by being like,
right. She wouldn't say it if she didn't.
Right. She was there to suck your dick. She flew down. Like, she was game.
Right.
So, the woman who interrupts, like, she has done nothing wrong.
Absolutely not.
I think as far as he's a deal breaker for you, let's hope that he goes and takes care of these things and believes you.
He should be like grateful. If I were him, I think the only appropriate response from him would be after, in the like post-mortem of the situation, being like, I'm sorry if I came out weird. I really did not know that was what I had. I'm really embarrassed. Thank you so much for like looking and for not shaming me about it. Like that was really not, you handled that in a really cool way.
Right.
That's the only way I think to come back from that situation.
Honestly, if I'm him, she goes from person I'm hooking up with to my doctor right away.
My doctor.
Like, not your
I thought you were going to say my girlfriend.
Yeah, no. We're done with this thing.
Bill her insurance. Yeah, Bill his insurance.
Let me give you my card. She's someone I trust, like, wholeheartedly. Like, I'd be like, thank you. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. The fact that his reaction after that wasn't at all, like, no vulnerability, no appreciation, no, like, thank you.
Especially considering, and I'm considering just how hard it is to get answers out of a doctor when it comes to these uncomfortable things. Like it is just like, can you just speak to me?
Do you want her number?
I might ask for her email. I'll
to get
no, I'm a guy. I'm good. But I have like, I just, every time I'm tested, every single time. So we good?
Well, I think doctors also don't want to say too much because they never want to like be in trouble for giving you like false like positivity about anything.
To me.
Nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is that?
Add doctors to the list of professions, Jared.
Yeah, I'm out.
Okay.
Let's do one more.
Okay.
J&J, your podcast keeps me sane while dating, and I finally have my own story. I, 39 female, went on a first date with a guy, 39 male, and honestly, it was going great. We had drinks outside. He got the first round. Later, we decided to order food, but instead of asking if I wanted another drink while he was at the bar, he came back with nothing. Eventually, I asked if he wanted another round. He said yes, and then just sat there. I ended up going to the bar to order both drinks, assuming he'd add them to his tab. We moved inside, had an amazing conversation, and I was actually excited about a second date. But when I came back from the bathroom at the end of the night, the bartender asked if I had a tab. My date casually said he'd already paid his tab, his first 2 drinks, and the shared food, leaving me to pay for the second round while he sat there watching the confusion. It's not about the $16. I'm happy to split the cost and don't expect men to pay for everything. What bothered me was how sneaky it felt. If he wanted to split the date, he could have just said so instead of creating this awkward situation. The whole night suddenly felt like he was trying to quietly even the score with women instead of just communicating. Now I'm completely turned off even though we had a real connection. Red flag or deal breaker? What do you think?
Okay. Can we back up and sort of go through what happens here? Because I found it a little confusing. Right.
It
sounds like they ordered a drink and shared food, right?
We had drinks outside. He got the first round. Later, we decided to order food, but instead of asking if I want another drink while he was at the bar, he came back with nothing.
So it sounds like he went to the bar, closed the tap.
Did he go to the bar
for the one
and
drink
order
and the
food and then got a number and they put it on the table and didn't get them drinks as well? That's my question.
To me, if he went to the bar and came back with nothing, that means he went up there to close the tab.
Right.
I would imagine. Why else would you be at the bar?
Eventually asked if he wanted another round. He said yes, then just sat there. I ended up going to the bar to order both drinks, assuming he'd add them to his tab.
Why would she assume that?
He add them to his tab?
If she's ordering the drink. I guess she assumed he had a tab, I guess. I think he closed the tab, and so there was a new tab started when she went up and got the second drink. It sounds like he was finishing the date night with the food and the one drink each. Then she goes up and gets another round.
Right.
Which is a new tab entirely, because she said he paid for the food.
But when I came back from the bathroom at the end of the night, the bartender asked if I had a tab.
As in there's a new tab that's open.
Right. And then my date casually said he'd paid his tab, his first 2 drinks, and the shared food. Yes. Leaving me to pay for the second round while he just sat there watching the confusion. So I guess they went up at the end of the night to the bar to close tabs or
it sounds like he went up to the bar to close the tab, didn't tell her he was closing the tab, and then she got another round of drinks.
Right, but
assuming
it's weird,
the tab was still
it's
open.
Weird at the end of the night, you go, if the bartender asked them and they were sitting at a different table, hey, we ready to go? Yeah, I closed my tab already is an easy thing for him to say. Did he walk up with her to the bar and then he was like, yeah, I'm good. Pay her tab. I don't know how that happens.
To me, the way it happened was they had the date, each got a drink, shared food. He went up to pay for that, maybe assuming the date is over. She orders more drinks afterwards. So now there's no card on file. So the waiter comes and asks if there's a card on file for the new tab. Right. And he doesn't say, oh, I got this. Sorry, I closed before. I'm getting a new one. I don't know if it was as sneakily planned out as she thought, because I don't know that he knew she was going to order another round of drinks.
Right. And the way she's putting it is he's evening the score with all women. I think maybe you've gone another step where maybe he just felt awkward that he closed it early. Yeah. Because he did get the shared food.
And then maybe he was ready to go, and then he felt like she wanted to. Well, the other part that I would say I would advise her not to do is she goes, now I'm completely turned off even though we had a real connection. You say this a lot. Don't say we had a real connection. Right. I felt connected. Right. I felt the date was going well. She doesn't know how he felt.
Right. She has no idea.
So
but I also would encourage her to go out with him again. I think this sounds like it could have been a mistake. If it wasn't, you'll find out very quickly on the second date. This payment thing is going to linger. Right. But I also, if her mind went to he's evening the score for women, it's hard for me to believe.
He paid for the first round of drinks and the food. So he paid for more than she paid for.
It's just hard for me to believe that they had that she felt a connection and she felt that he was trying to even the score for women. Right. That he's had, that
he purposely closed halfway through so that she would be left with the other
I would
half.
Assume bad vibe from guy who does that.
Yeah.
Not I think this had a connection and he's evening the score for all the women he's gone on dates with.
I could see this being an awkward misunderstanding where he thinks the date is done. Turns out she actually wants another drink and gets another round. And he was like, oh, I guess maybe she's just getting the next round.
Yeah. This is, give it another shot. UUP@betches.com. Keep sending in your red flag or deal breakers. We solved dating again.
We did it. We'll be back on Friday.
Boom.